What's up, guys? Welcome to Superwise. I'm John, and I'm here to give you my review of Mortal Kombat, the 2021 reboot. And yeah, we definitely got to talk about my thoughts on this. With Marvel and DC, I am a die-hard, obsessed fan. I absolutely adore superheroes. But when it comes to Mortal Kombat, I'm a casual fan. I'm not obsessed with the lore. I just play the games, I have fun with them, and that's it for me. My favorite Mortal Kombat game actually is Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. Anyway, I was genuinely looking forward to seeing this movie. The trailer really sold me on how badass this movie looked, and I decided to watch it. So what did I think? Because video game movies have a famous track record of being really offensively bad. So Mortal Kombat could have fit in that bad territory. So this movie is average. It's fine. It's mediocre. It's not one of the best video game adaptations, and it's not one of the worst. This movie is not good, but it's not bad either. I just think it's fine. It's definitely better than Mortal Kombat 1995 and Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Can't even compare those two to this one. But this movie does have its fair share of problems. First, let's go over what I genuinely liked about the movie. So visually, it looks really good. Simon McQuoid directed this movie. This is his first movie. He hasn't directed anything until this movie. And he did a pretty damn good job filming the shots. It all looked pretty professional. Another plus, the CGI and visual effects. This is the budget Mortal Kombat deserves. The CGI, most of it, is convincing and looks pretty good. Also, for a Mortal Kombat movie, you need the R rating. And this movie delivers on the violence and the gore. Everything about it, the blood, it's really cool. The opening scene with Scorpion is amazing. One of the best parts of this movie, where Hiroyuki Sanada is just killing those dudes off and he faces off against Sub-Zero. It's really great. But those are all the nice things I have to say about this film. Everything else goes in the meh or bad territory. Let's start off with the action. The action is good. Cole Young versus Goro, Jax versus Sub-Zero, and besides the opening Scorpion scene, Sub-Zero versus Scorpion at the end. But the problem with the action is that this film doesn't do anything inventive or amazing or groundbreaking. You have martial arts and hand-to-hand combat. You could do a lot of cool, amazing stuff with that, but this movie just doesn't, unfortunately. And a big problem with this film is the editing. Every time there's a fight scene, there's constant cutting and editing, and it's a disservice to the action because you can't really make out what's going on and can't see it fully. Another problem are the characters. The characters get little to no character development at all, and it makes me not care about them. First off, Lewis Tan as Cole Young. There was a lot riding on him as a character because he's completely new. For this movie, he was created just for this movie, and they try with his family, but I didn't care because we get like 2 scenes with his family. He's a pretty bland character, and this is the start of a new cinematic universe with him leading it? Come on. Hiroyuki Sanada as Scorpion. Great casting, and he was actually really good in the movie, one of the best parts of this movie, but he's so underutilized. We don't get enough screen time with him. His motivations are clear, but they're not explored in depth, and we should have been following him instead of Lewis Tan's character. I just wish we saw more of him. Joe Taslim as Sub-Zero, again, really good actor, good casting, and he's cool in the movie, but we don't see enough of him, and he doesn't really have a character. He just wants to kill Scorpion and Cole Young because it's a bloodline thing. That's a lame motivation. Josh Lawson as Kano, he's actually my favorite character in this movie. It's not because I care about him, because he doesn't get any character development. I just like him because he's genuinely funny. He drops some really funny jokes. He's very Carl Urbanish, like in The Boys. Jax and Sonya, they try, but I don't care in the end. They're fine. They share a couple lines of dialogue, and that's supposed to make us care for them. Didn't work. Jax had a cool fatality, but that's a Then we have Liu Kang, who is Mortal Kombat's Bruce Lee. He didn't do anything awesome in this movie besides the bicycle kick. That was pretty cool. And Kung Lao was really cool too. He had the best fatality. One of the best parts of this movie was his fatality. Raiden was fine. He didn't do much. The guy who played Hogun in the Thor movies played him here. Like him as an actor, but he didn't have much to do. The lightning and thunder effects were cool, but Raiden should be an older guy. He has gray hair. He's a little older. Cabal was cool. Looked cool, did cool things. Then we have the ending with the surprise reveal that Johnny Cage will show up in the sequel if a sequel ever happens. Bruh, Warner Brothers needs to get in contact with either Chris Pratt or Chris Evans to play Johnny Cage. They need that star power. Chris Pratt is like perfect for Johnny Cage. He needs to be Johnny Cage. The costume designs for Sub-Zero, Scorpion, and Cole Young, they're all pretty great. The score is good by Benjamin Wallfish. He incorporates the classic Mortal Kombat theme in there. Sounds good. And I know I've been complaining about this movie, calling out its mistakes and what I didn't like about it, but honestly, I did have a good time. I thought it was a fun, enjoyable movie, and if there's a sequel, I wouldn't be excited about it because this movie didn't get me hyped, but I'd be like, yeah, I'm down. I'd watch a sequel. And the thing is, if you're not a fan of Mortal Kombat, if you haven't played the games, if you don't really know anything about Mortal Kombat except the name of the characters, I could see you having a hard time enjoying this. I mean, you might like the action, but you might have a hard time getting invested in the lore. I'd say this movie is for the fans, but even still, there are some issues with this film that are making fans not happy with it, like how the characters are being treated, stuff like that. So after seeing this movie, I definitely understand the divide between people who like this movie and people who don't. If you like it, I get you, and if you don't, I totally understand where you guys are coming from. And Joe Taslim, who plays Sub-Zero, said that he signed on for 4 more sequels. Not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 more sequels. Which, you know, this movie was fun enough for me to watch the sequels, but I think this was the wrong way to start a cinematic universe, because first you have underdeveloped characters that you don't care about, then you kill off Kano, you kill off Melina, you kill off Reptile, you kill off Kung Lao. These are recognizable Mortal Kombat characters that you just kill off. I was shocked when they killed off Kung Lao. I was like, what? And then you have Sub-Zero, who was killed off, but this is Bi-Han, so he can turn into Noob Saibot. But why would you do that? That's like killing Superman off in your second film in the DCEU. You have to build up to Noob Saibot, but whatever. I think this Mortal Kombat reboot would have been better if it was an HBO Max series. Flesh out the characters, then build up to the tournament. This movie just seemed rushed. I don't know, if a sequel gets made, hopefully it's better. This is definitely the best Mortal Kombat movie yet. Again, there's not much competition. This is not one of the best video game adaptations. That goes to Sonic the Hedgehog. That movie just has a lot of heart. It knows what it is. But Mortal Kombat is not one of the worst. I just think it's mediocre. It's fine. There was a lot of potential here. It doesn't seem like the definitive Mortal Kombat movie that all fans have wanted, but I can see fans liking this, and there's definitely enjoyment to be had. I just wish it was a better overall movie. But again, I'm always interested in hearing your thoughts. Tell me what you thought of Mortal Kombat down below. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't subbed already. I'd love to have you here. You'd be supporting the Superwise family. It'd mean a great deal. So subscribe. That will be all for me. And remember my catchphrase, guys. Stay super wise.